Over the last 3 years, the narrative on our president has changed, but it seems to change in a very cyclical pattern. We start out with, "That Trump is a racist, fascist, sexist." Then, of course, we turn into, "Oh my god, Trump is in the pocket of Russia." And of course, every time that fails, we turn on into, "Trump cheated on his taxes." But now that it seems like we are going to have a diplomatic win on illegal immigration and the southern border, freshman Representative Alexandria Cortez has brought back a topic that stopped being convenient for mainstream media almost a year ago by saying, "Oh my god, Trump is a certain German chancellor from the World War II era that has a mysteriously narrow mustache." Sorry, I don't know what the YouTube rules are anymore. On Monday, the freshman representative made an Instagram live video proclaiming that we are running concentration camps on the border. The video is readily available and it's linked by its YouTube link in the description below, but in case you missed it, here's the highlight reel of everything the representative had to say.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border, and that is exactly what they are. They are concentration camps. And if that doesn't bother you, I want to talk to the people that are concerned enough with humanity to say that we should not, that never again means something. This week, immigrant children were moved to the same internment camps where the Japanese were held in the earlier 20th century. Or if we are losing to an authoritarian and fascist presidency. I use that word because that is what an administration that creates concentration camps is.
Almost immediately, and definitely rightfully, Cortez started getting major backlash for the fact that she made these statements and comparisons, with Chuck Todd of NBC even going as far as to call the new congresswoman out. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the response to this because we've been absolutely flooded with it over the last week, with everybody from Tim Pool to Chuck Todd to Ben Shapiro to Rush Limbaugh to Newsweek to every other major media outlet talking about this. But for the most part, the conservative pundits have hit the nail right on the head when they talk about this. Cortez has struck back against our critics by claiming that she didn't specifically mean the anti-Semitic death camps that were involved in Germany during World War II, and that she was instead using a more generic dictionary definition of the term concentration camp. Merriam-Webster includes conveniently the word refugee in its definition of this term, but the fact remains that these words were chosen in a specific manner, especially with the words that were included with it. These were meant to invoke a certain reaction, especially given the fact that she said never again numerous times in her video. Her intent while making this video was to reawaken this narrative so we could start talking about it again.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
What struck me as the most interesting about this story is the fact that it's been almost a year since we heard about the kids in the cages down at the border. The story pretty much fell out of the news silently as soon as it stopped being convenient for the mainstream media. But now we're looking back at what's happening with the Trump administration, especially with the fact that the Democrat debates are coming up and we are going full swing into the 2020 election cycle. A cycle that the Democrats and the progressives like Cortez believe that they need to win or this country will be destroyed and we will be in a major civil war. And when we look at this context, we do need to look at what is happening right now because we have a major diplomatic victory with Mexico when it comes to border security and refugees crossing Mexico to get to the United States. We had a tariff scare for a little while, but that seemed to fall to the wayside as soon as Mexico realized that the tariffs were going to jump up. There is some debate on the timing of all of this, but I do believe that after the tariffs were announced, Mexico realized that some of their trade and some of their industry was going to be hurt. Not only are we having a major diplomatic win with Mexico right now, but China is coming to the table. Now, they haven't struck a deal yet, but the fact that Xi is coming to the table right now has caused enough optimism in the stock market that it jumped 500 points as soon as it was announced that the Chinese president was going to come and negotiate, which means a little bit more money in everybody's pockets, both in China and over here in the US. The first Democrat debates are going to be coming up in less than a week at this point, and as we go along through the Trump administration, he is keeping more and more of his campaign promises, and he's gaining more and more confidence with the American people as we go. The center is still very much in play in this election, but as more money goes into the pockets of Americans, the taxes continue to get lowered, and we have easing tensions with countries across the world, Donald Trump's re-election bid gets stronger and stronger every day. And right now, all that the left has is, I want to tax you more, I want to take your guns, and I hate Donald Trump the most. What did you think about Cortez's concentration camp comments, and what do you believe the real agenda was behind her releasing them right now? I always welcome a thoughtful and positive discussion in the comment section below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at EdsBlog Twitter with a 1 in place of the I. Thanks as always for listening to this show and supporting this channel. And remember, never take the words of bloggers, podcasters, or journalists as gospel. Find all the facts and draw your own conclusions. Take care.
You're always there for me in my best